Very warm welcome to you as you join us on today's episode of Tax Matters. My name is Olumuyiwa Matuloko. Presenting with me is Christina Pius.
Hello, viewers.
It was a very busy week for the Tazian family the other week, talking about the week of Monday, the 21st of November 2011. The week began with the hosting of the 125th meeting of the Joint Tax Board by the Kogi State government, and it held from Monday to Wednesday in Lokoja, the capital of Kogi State. And on Wednesday, the 23rd, and Thursday, the 24th, the Federal Inland Revenue Service got together female members of staff serving in the Lagos and Western regions for a leadership development forum. At that same venue, Eco Hotel in Lagos, on Thursday, it was time for the regional enlarged management meeting of the FRS formations in Lagos, talking about Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, Land Tax Office Oil and Gas, and Land Tax Office Non-Oil Lagos. Of course, the following day, on Friday, the 25th, the Stakeholders Forum took place. That, you will remember, started in Lagos on November 5, 2010, where the FRS will engage taxpayers, their representatives, collectors of taxes, talking about the banks, in a tete-a-tete. The week was rounded off on Saturday, 26th, by the award night, the 2011 award night and dinner of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. On this episode, we are going to scratch the surface, touch on each of those big and important events, and as the weeks of December roll by, we'll be able to deal with each of them at length. Once again, my name is Olumuyiwa Matuloko, and the program is Tax Matters. Welcome back. The program is Tax Matters, and we start off on this episode by giving you a peep, just a peep, into what transpired at the 125th meeting of the Joint Tax Board, which was hosted by the Kogi State government in Lokoja, Kogi State, from Monday the 21st to Wednesday the 23rd of November 2011. The Executive Governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ibrahim Idris, was represented at the opening ceremony by the State Commissioner for Finance, Dr. Stephen Olorunfemi.
I appreciate the honor done to me by giving me the privilege to host this important meeting of tax administrators from across the country. It is significant that it has come at the dying phase of my tenure in government of Kogi State. The memory will indeed remain indelible. I wish to remark that my administration has benefited immensely from the working of the Joint Tax Board, reflected in the instructions and general guidelines issued on revenue generation and tax administration. We have been utilizing these resources to advantage as they have helped immensely in improving the state's internally generated revenue. Our dependence on oil for revenue has driven us to the point where virtually all fiscal policies of government are all oil revenue oriented. Currently, we are being faced with the stark reality of oil subsidy removal, which seems to be the only realistic path the nation needs to beat out of the economic mess we have found ourselves in. The unfortunate decision could have been avoided if other revenue-yielding sources have been harnessed with enhanced capacity to generate equal value of oil revenue. One such revenue-yielding source not properly harnessed is taxation. All developed economies depend on taxation for government revenue. This fact must be made clear to all Nigerians if it will make progress. The Joint Tax Board must therefore overhaul its information dissemination machinery to ensure that proper awareness on taxation is created among the Nigerian public.
Executive Chairman of the Federal Revenue Service and Chairman Joint Tax Board, Mrs. Ifekwuamogu Okauru, used the opportunity to touch on several issues bordering on increasing revenue yield in the country.
Since the introduction of tax reform agenda by the government a few years ago, concerted efforts are being made to achieve total transformation of the Nigerian tax system. In our quest to keep the moment and focus, we have chosen the theme for this meeting as the imperative of tax laws in transforming the Nigerian tax system. As you know, even though we are seen as tax administrators, really what we administer is a tax law. The importance of tax laws and legislations in tax administration cannot be overemphasized, as they serve as instruments that guide policy formulation and direct the operations of tax authorities.
At the end of the 3-day meeting, the Joint Task Board released a communique.
Communique issued at the end of the 125th meeting of the Joint Tax Board, held from the 21st to the 23rd November 2011 at Confluence Beach Hotel, Lokoja, Kogi State. The board deliberated on various issues and reached the following major decisions. 1. The board recognized the importance of tax laws and regulations in transforming the Nigerian tax system and resolved to work towards the review and amendment of the existing tax laws as may be required. 2. The board commends the Federal Executive Council and the National Economic Council for approval of the national tax policy and noted the need for its publication. 3. The board commends the National Assembly for the passage of the Personal Income Tax Amendment Bill awaiting assent by Mr. President. 7. The board noted the progress in the implementation of the Unique Tax Identification Number UTIN project and that the project will go live in the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Joint Tax Board, and 6 pilot states of Abia, Bauchi, Delta, Jigawa, Kwara, and Oyo by December 21st, 2011. 8. The board noted the challenges associated with the implementation of the new vehicle number plates and driver's license by agencies concerned and assures the public of a proactive resolution of all issues involved. 9. The board noted the difficulties associated with the computation of tax based on consolidated salary structures and would work towards providing additional tax tables that will serve as guide.
The full story of the 125th meeting of the Joint Task Board will come to you very soon. Permit us to cut it short at this stage as we move on straight to the story of the Leadership Forum organized for female members of staff of the FRS in Lagos. Correspondent Christina Pius covered the event.
The Leadership Development Forum for female members of staff of the FRS was held in Lagos from Wednesday the 23rd to Thursday the 24th of November 2011.
Dubbed as the first in the series, the forum was for FRS women serving in the Lagos and Western region of the service. Several papers aimed at developing the capacity of the female workers to enable them cope with work and family challenges were presented by accomplished women in various endeavors of life. At the takeoff of the event on Wednesday, the essence of the forum was encapsulated in these words.
This meeting is intended to groom and bring up the next generation of women leaders, especially in our workforce, FRS. Ladies and gentlemen, we have speakers, like I said earlier, seasoned speakers, women that have made it in their own way of life, women that pass through a work life just like ours, just to teach us on how to put both the work life and our social life together.
It is with immense delight that I welcome you all to this historic event of the first ever Executive Chairman's meeting with female staff of the service, starting with the Western and Lagos regions. The idea of organizing a meeting with female gender of the workforce is born out of my quest to groom and empower the FRS female workforce as the next generation of leaders, competing with their male counterparts in ensuring that taxation becomes a pivot of national development. The objective, among others, is to enable the female staff of the service to realize that they play an important role in the development of the institution known as FRS, and that if well enlightened, they can perform better in the job without any form of coercion.
Speaking at the event on day 2, the executive chairman had this to say.
Let me tell you my own experience, without prejudice to whatever policy will be developed. I'm not here I am today because I'm a woman. I'm not doing all the things I'm doing today because I'm a woman. I do not think I was chosen to be the executive chairman because I'm a woman. And I don't want to even be treated because I'm a woman. And what that has done for me is to make me see life in a manner that the opportunities that are bound are taken, whether it's for a woman or for a man. In fact, I find that rather than being treated as a woman, because I am a woman actually helps me take advantage of some of these opportunities. I honestly think that being a woman gives you the unique skills to multitask. I think God gave that to us because he knew that he was going to give the woman so many responsibilities. And so he gave her these innate skills to multitask, to stay on top of things, to be empathic, to do all these things. For me, that is the leverage.
Great women of FIRS. Great women of FIRS. Great women of FIRS. Thank you very much. If people on the high table succeeded and achieved their goals, then we all can achieve our goals and our dreams. If nothing else, live with that resolve, that determination, that what is possible, and that you can attain your goal. Every other thing, like she has says, comes with discipline, sacrifice, and effort on your part. God being on your side, we will all get there.
Like for the first story, the full story of this Women's Forum will also come to you in subsequent episodes of Tax Matters.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service introduces the tax card to make all tax payment easy for you. Just follow these 7 easy steps. Obtain your taxpayer identification number, TIN, for free at any FIRS office. Get your tax card from your bank. Log on to www.firsonline.com. Then register to obtain a password and access the payment process pages. Fill your TIN number, tax type you're paying, amount payable, and period of payment. Confirm the entries on your transaction. Then print your e-ticket and present at any FIRS office as an evidence of tax paid. It's that simple. For more information, visit www.firs.gov.ng or any FIRS office close to you. FIRS. It pays to pay your tax.
Welcome back once again. The program is Tax Matters, and we are taking you along on a roller coaster trip. A trip in which we intend to tell you the story of 4 big and important events in just 25 minutes. On Thursday, the 24th of November 2011, it was the turn of the formations of the Federal Inland Revenue Service in the Lagos region to hold their own regional enlarged management meeting. Of course, by now, ardent viewers of Tax Matters know what the FIRS Regional Enlarged Management Meeting stands for. It is an opportunity for stock taking and for charting the future. In recent time, we have brought you the story of the Regional Enlarged Management Meetings held in Abakaliki for the East, Ilorin for the West, Gombe for the Northwest, and Kano for the Northeast. The Lagos region has Lagos Island, Lagos Mainland, Latas Office Non-Oil, and Latas Office Oil and Gas. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has a total of 8 regions spread across the country. According to reports presented at the Lagos Regional Enlarged Management Meeting, the formations of the FIRS in the Lagos region did not fare too badly in the period under review. And on a global level, that is overall FIRS performance.
In this regard, let me first provide you with an update of overall collection performance for the period January to October 2011, realizing that we have just 2 more months to go before the year runs out. Oil revenue, we have a target, government target of 2 trillion. But in order to drive ourselves harder, we set a target of 2.6 trillion for ourselves. if you look at the expected revenue to have been collected as at the end of October, for government targets, we should be bringing in about 1.6 trillion now. And if you compare with the FRS target, we should be bringing in 2.2 trillion. But what we have reported is 2.47 trillion to date. So if you say to yourself, where are we? Now, there are two evaluators here. First is government, that is our employer, that gave us a target at the beginning of the year. And they will see in their records that with respect to oil revenue, we have achieved 148% of the target given us, and 112 if we are looking at it from the perspective of management. So, from both counts, we've done well. Clap for ourselves. Now, the real issue is the non-oil revenue, because that is where we get our cost of collection. Government set for us at the beginning of the year 1.6 trillion, but we drove ourselves harder by setting a target of 1.7 trillion. And of course, we expect that by now, we should be bringing in for government 1.3 trillion and for FRS management 1.45 trillion. What we've done to date is that we have achieved 1.2 trillion, representing 95% of the government target and 90% of the FRS target. Now, I don't want to ask you to clap. Thank you for clapping for ourselves. But you can see that from both fronts, we have achieved at least 90%. Of the overall target set by government, of 3.64, consisting of both oil and non-revenue, from the records I have seen this month, there is every likelihood that we will exceed the target by the end of the year.
The Lagos Regional Enlarged Management Meeting was graced by representatives of the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, and the State Commissioner for Finance, as well as the member representing the Southwest on the board of the Federal Revenue Service, Professor Folani Shillong.
I bring you the best wishes of members of the board, and also take the opportunity to thank the staff for the continued hard work they are putting in. I can assure you that this is very much appreciated by the board.
The executive chairman seized the opportunity of the occasion to commend staff of the FRS in the region and to enjoin them to work harder. The following day, Friday the 25th of November, the Stakeholder Summit was held at the same venue. We want to remind you that the Stakeholder Summit organized by the FRS actually took off in the Lagos Island on November 5, 2010. It has since gone around the country and has turned full circle and is holding for the second time in Lagos. It had in attendance taxpayers representatives, banks who act as collecting agents for taxes, tax consultants, and other stakeholders. That is a story that we are itching to tell you, and that's a story that we recommend that you look out for. Lastly, still talking about a week full of events. On Saturday, the 26th of November, the 2011 annual dinner and award night of the CITN was held in Lagos. Once again, correspondent Christiana Pius reports.
The 2011 dinner and award night was filled with thrills and fails. The special guest of honor was the Executive Governor of Gombe State, Alhaji Ibrahim Dankwabo, who is a fellow of the Institute.
Alhaji Dankwabo is a member of council of the Institute. He is also a member of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee of Council of the Institute.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service was given the award for Corporate Public Sector Organization in recognition of the giant strides that the FRS has taken in recent years.
As a certificate to the FRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, to continue with the good work the organization has been doing. This is a plaque to be kept in memory for all eyes to see, for all those who seem to realize that the Federal Inland Revenue Service is an exalted organization in the taxation system.
Other awardees include Governor Dankwabo, Professor Emmanuel Edozie, and the Kaduna State Government. 96-year-old Pa Benedict Bosa Oche, fondly referred to as Bibi Oche, a fellow of the Institute, was given an award for outstanding service to the taxation profession. Mr. Bola Bilewu of the CI10 Secretariat was given the Long Service Award.
Mr. Bilewu has been very, very reliable, hard-working, and trustworthy. It is in recognition of these qualities that I, as president of the Institute, is hereby presenting this token gift in appreciation of your service to the Institute.
The FRS delegation to the CI10 Award Night was led by Alhaji Kabiru Mashi, Coordinating Director, Support Services Group, and Mr. Onyekachi Ihedioha, Coordinating Director, Compliance and Enforcement Group. The new fellows of the CI10 were sworn in by the President and Chairman in Council of the CI10, Mr. JFS Jegede.
Do solemnly swear that I will continue to and fulfill my obligations to the Institute and my employers honestly, faithfully, and in accordance with the Institute Charter.
From the entire crew of Tax Matters, those you can see and those you cannot see, we say congratulations to the awardees, especially the Federal Inland Revenue Service and to the new fellows. And to you, our viewers, congratulations for seeing the month of December 2011. We want you to have a good week. From Christina.
Bye for now.